Hi everyone. So today I'm gonna be just sharing something else that it could be interesting for farm CEOs that are always joining me on this video. I have been, running IMSICA as a business for the last decade, and it's very interesting to see how we have moved, one year after the other. One of the critical things we did understand from the beginning was a statement that I was having a conversation with one of my partners to say, a good name is better than riches. And yes, you need money to do several things in business, but you also need a good name. And a good name, in the business space is simply the issue of faithfulness. Faithfulness, keeping open communication lines, and letting other people that you are working with at different stages, different stakeholders, aware of what you're doing. And as a firm, which is a business, is that you need to do the same. You have got different partners that you are working with. You have got your workers, your employees. You also have got your suppliers. And for me today, I would like to just give that example that as IMSICA, we have had suppliers. One of the suppliers we have had is Saro Agro, and we've been actually selling most of their products through our, first of all, when we started out with our e-commerce platform. So if you go to our website, you'll find those details. It's not a selling conversation. I just want to share some knowledge on that. And then when we opened the physical store, we actually held a launch with them right here about how that you could literally just get products from our physical shop or online shop at the exact same price as you would get them at any branch of Saro. Now this is so because of the relationship that we built with them as our supplier. We've done the same with our customers, but I wanted to show you that as our supplier, we made sure that we communicated with them, we brainstormed with them, we shared problems that we were experiencing with them, we shared feedback that their customers were bringing to us concerning their product and their services with them. And to give that example, one of the key people in the last, I think in our 10 years, we have literally been in communication almost 8 years to 6 years or so. And the person who's been key to that relationship at Saro is a gentleman by the name of Mr. Calvin Sala, who's joined on this video today.
Hello, everyone.
Great stuff. So I'm just going to ask Mr. Sala a quick question and I'm going to just put the video on him. And this is to say, maybe could you just tell me a little bit more about how you look at, business relationships between supplier and the client and the customer, and how do you see it playing out, over time? How does it work well? What help does it provide for you to keep a very good relationship with the supplier?
Well, one of our major suppliers is Jacto. And if you're a farmer, I think you're very familiar with the name of Jacto, company from Brazil. We've been dealing with them now for more than 30 years in Zambia. I had a relationship with them when I was in Zimbabwe for about 14 years before I moved to Zambia. And the relationship, I reconnected with them when I joined Saro. And they were very, very happy to discover that after all these years knowing me in Zim, that I was now in Zambia and actually continuing to work with them. The importance of the relationship can't be overstated. It is essential, because with a relationship like the one we've had with Jacto, at any given time, if we ask for any assistance, if there's any problem that may develop that requires someone to come all the way from either Brazil or from an office in South Africa, they will respond almost immediately. And they will come, take time. We can tell them how many days or weeks we want them to be with us. They will come through without any hesitation. And it's nice for us as the importer of product from them and supplying it into Zambia, onto the Zambian market, to know that the backup is there. Because when people like yourselves, the people I'm addressing who are the end users of the product, have a problem, it is important that firstly us as SARO be able to respond quickly and solve the problem, whatever it might be. And secondly, if the problem is maybe something of such a technical nature that we are unable to, then we can call on JACTO. And we know without a shadow of a doubt that JACTO will always be there to back us up. JACTO have sent officials, their senior members of their team, to come to Zambia, and we've conducted training sessions for farm managers, for farm operators, sometimes at very substantial places, very influential in Zambia, like Zambia Sugar. On more than one occasion, we've conducted training sessions for Zambia Sugar and their staff about the correct use of sprayers, application of sprayers, maintenance of the sprayers. And this is all done without any question from JACTO as to why they should travel and spend money to come all the way to Africa from Brazil to support us. And for us in turn, the farmers, Zambia is a big country. We've got farmers nationwide that are familiar with our products. And we also want to very much believe in the philosophy that if you have a problem, you call us, whether it be head office direct in Lusaka or whether it be one of our branches, of which we now have 12 branches outside Lusaka. Somebody from the branch will respond and try as quickly as possible to solve your problem. I've been working, my very first job that I did going back to 1980, I started working in a company that dealt with agriculture and with farmers. And so I've come to know farmers now for 45 years in my career. And I know the issue about farming, that when you have a problem on the farm, which usually comes unexpectedly, you need a quick response. Without that quick response, sometimes you, as a farmer, you could lose your crop. If it's a pest and suddenly your sprayer is not working correctly, you need that sprayer to be fixed very, very quickly. So,
and just coming to that, I want people to understand, like, one of the lessons I've gotten in the 10 years is that people like Mr. Sala and several other of my suppliers who we have kept for quite a long time have worked for me as Gilbert personally as mentors. You know, people who I have meetings with on a regular basis. You know, I not looking for business opportunities or discounts from their stores or anything like that, but rather just being able to learn and understand the business space. Because one of the jokes I like making in my home is that I do not have a lot of people in my past who have a lot of experience in the space except my dad. And sometimes I start working in parts that are, you know, that are not well traded before, and therefore I need to learn from other people. You've heard he has more than 45 years of experience in the space, and I only have very little. So sometimes we sit down, I go to the office, or sometimes he visits. Like right now, we are at the IMSICA office right now, as you can see, and he just passed by. Obviously, I was receiving my New Year, my Happy New Year goodies from him, you know, the calendars for the organization. But more than that is that I get insight, I get understanding, I get information about how the mechanization space is moving out. And sometimes people will be wondering, okay, so how did you know about this? How did you know about that? But it is because I sit with people who are part of the, you know, the captains of the industry, who have earned it over time, and I get to just benefit from that conversation and sitting down, you know, under them to learn. So besides me asking for products and as well as also getting relationships, I'm also giving ideas, you know, and that's one thing he calls me for. I've got so many ideas. I give ideas and thoughts of where I feel like we could collaborate more, but beyond that, I also get lessons. And these are relationships that I suggest that if you are a farm CEO, you know, anybody that you are doing business with, be it your clients, the ones you sell things to, or the ones you buy things from, your inputs from, don't just buy and move on. Develop a relationship. You do not know where that relationship could take you. There are the kind of relationship I have now, I wouldn't want to say too much about it, but is that for us to be able to sell a product from Saro in our shop, which is far away, without you having a price difference, it means quite a lot, because most people I would have to put a margin on those things for me to be able to make money. But for me, I still make money by you buying it at the same price you'd find it at Saro. That's because of a relationship that has been created. And also faithfulness, communication, where the suppliers, the owners of the organization, or are also confident that you are not going to misuse the relationship that they have with you. So I hope that as a farm CEO you've learned something from this, and that you will be able to establish the right relationships with your customers as well as also with your suppliers, so that you may be able to grow your agricultural business. All right, see you next time. Thank you, Mr. Sala.
Thank you very much. Compliment of the season to everyone. Wish you a great 2026.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.